That's the sound of the devil right there.
Fafo, from the island of Dr. Moreau.
Why'd your voice change?
It really does scream stranger danger.
Pedophilia!
Really, that is for you to decide.
Did you not see the man twerking in front of the children? Can't be creepier than that.
Jigsaw. This character is from an 80s British TV show. It's the program's comic.
What is up, everybody? It's the Android Master, and I am a 2000s baby. Yes, I was born in the really early 2000s, like extremely as soon as 2000s hit. Well, late 2000. You know what? I'll just put my birthday on freaking camera right now. Editing Jaden, add in October 5th, 2000. Did he do it, guys? I think me in the future is not lazy enough to forget that. So, yeah, basically, these are my versions of kids shows that were creepy. Now, I may not know a couple of these kids shows, but I also may know them. So, well, time to kill some of my childhood. Here we go. Oh, God. The thumbnail for this is creepy, too. Oh, I'm screwed. Warning, the video contains that may be disturbing to a younger audience. Okay, whatever.
Have you ever tuned into your favorite show as a child and was creeped out by one specific character? And one that wasn't even supposed to be creepy.
It's beautiful.
Sometimes even being the host of the show or its main characters. Well, you're not alone. Apparently tons of children's shows around the world has had these unintentionally creepy, nightmarish characters. So today, we're going to count down 20 unintentionally disturbing kids characters from around the world.
Okay. So I paused this to tell you this. If you are young, and if you have seen these kids shows before, or if you don't want a little bit of your childhood to die right now, click off the video now. Alright? This is just a warning. But if you want to survive this thing with me, I will be here for you. I got you all. So if you want to last this nightmare with me today, please suffer with me, because I don't want to do this alone, and I need your help. Thank you. Alright, here we go. 20 terribly freaking terrifying childhood shows. Here we go. Here we go.
The Boobahs from Boobah.
Ah, I remember this.
This show was a British TV program that was produced by Ragdoll Productions. The Boobahs are 5 gumdrop-shaped creatures with big eyes and lights for eyebrows. Their heads are shriveled into their necks, and they awkwardly move around and fly with each other.
Come on.
The Boobahs do not speak. Instead, they communicate by making noises like squeaks and cracks.
It's adorable.
Like other shows on this list, many children, and even some adults, found the Boobahs to be absolutely terrifying.
Well, they are
just
bitches.
Something so unsettling about the way they walk and move. And
it's
if
adorable.
that weren't enough, their website could use some help too.
Alright, I'll do that right there. That's kind of awkward.
Distorted music along with weird flash games that won't really entertain anyone who's above the age of 3 seem to make the thing a little more terrifying
when I was little, this used to be
than
adorable.
anything related to this show should be.
It was adorable to me when I was little.
The Puppets from The Wiggles.
Oh.
The Wiggles was a musical group that performed on children's television from 1991 till now. While several of the cast members of the original group has either left due to physical health or old age, the original series has some pretty weird ideas about some of the side skits. For example, there was The Puppets, which was based on a popular Alvin and the Chipmunks group and TV show at the time. These horrifying things had their own unique look and style, even if their voices were pitched up in the same manner as the titular rodents.
No.
They move in rather stilted, disjointed ways,
God.
and have pretty terrible puppetry to go along with it. They always have these big, plastered smiles on their faces, and large beady eyes that seem to stare right past you.
That's the sound of the devil right there!
Really, this would feel more home on a Chucky's film rather than a children's TV show. Nonetheless, the Wiggles puppets gave kids nightmares throughout all of the 90s.
Oh god. 18.
Fafo, from the island of Dr. Moreau.
Why'd your voice change?
Fafo is an alien-born character
Why'd your voice change?
planet called Fafolandia.
Why'd your voice
He
change?
came to Earth to form his own band called Balloon Magic with a
Ah!
quartet of children.
His face looks like he has testicles on it!
He's grown to become quite popular amongst Brazilian children, getting to have its own program, dolls, and other licensed products. However, he's still incredibly creepy, and his features are incredibly bizarre. Most notably his strange cheeks that outgrow and sag over his skin,
They look like ball
and
sacks!
his eyes that gave off an almost sinister-looking stare.
Ah!
His nightmarish appearance is completely unintentional, but nightmarish nonetheless.
Pikachu, I need you!
Sasuga Minami from
Oh,
Maburi
thank
TV.
God, his voice came back.
Maburi TV was a morning Japanese TV show involving children dancing, often with the host Sasuga Minami. She's seen in a one-piece jumpsuit that has patches on it saying some pretty vulgar things all in English. And while these two might be confusing to a Japanese audience, the third is well known because of its close translation to the word faku. There really is no reason behind her outfits, and she's even worn it in a number of episodes with little to no backlash. In one confusing episode, the children are seen wearing Nirvana shirts for, again, no real reason.
No one noticed
She
this.
dances and helps choreograph the children with these inappropriate messages displayed on her shirts.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
The Flute, from HR Puff and Stuff.
Ah!
This bizarre children's show only ran for 2 years, with a total of just 17 episodes. The plot involved an 11-year-old boy named Jimmy, who becomes shipwrecked and lands on a deserted island. Him and his friend, a talking flute named Freddy, take a ride on a mysterious boat that leads them to a living island.
The flute's name is Freddy.
The boat
Come
was
on.
actually being controlled by a wicked witch, who used it to lure Jimmy and Freddy to her castle. The entire show is full of strange human-sized puppets, and Freddy the Flute is the creepiest looking companion ever. He gives off an unsettling face whenever he talks or just appears on camera. But what's just as terrifying as Freddy the Flute is Witchy Poo, the primary antagonist of the series who's after Freddy the Flute. She rides a large rocket-powered broom and is mean to everyone around her, even her henchmen.
Now look here. Who came up with these ideas? We're down to 15 and I'm
The
already...
Grogue, from the Moomins.
Why'd your voice keep
The
changing?
Grogue is a fictional character.
Why
from
does
the
your voice
silly
keep
show,
changing,
The
my dude?
Moomins. She's a tall, ghost-like creature, and is known as the biggest threat in Moomin Valley. Cold, creepy, and with a killer stare,
So like your voice...
everything this character touches freezes. If she stays in one spot for more than 1 hour, the ground dies, and nothing can ever grow there again.
Why are you doing this?
In the English dub, she's completely mute. But in the Finland, Poland, France, and Japan dub, her voice is absolutely terrifying. The Grogue is considered to be one of the most intimidating characters in a children's program. However, she is also considered by others to be one of the most sympathetic and misunderstood villains. Even though she starts out portrayed as an evil and terrifying antagonist, Later adaptations depict her as a lonely person who longs for warmth, light, and companionship, but is unable to because of her nature to kill things. She has no control over her appearance and her ability to freeze anything she touches.
Just keeps changing.
Mr. Blobby from Noel's House Party. Noel's House Party was a Saturday night TV show on the BBC, once hailed as the most important show on the BBC by a senior corporation executive. In 2010, Noel's House Party was voted the best Saturday night TV show of all time, according to the Mirror. Despite the positive reception, one of the show's characters was negatively received, and that was Mr. Blobby. Mr. Blobby is an 8-foot, round-shaped pink figure covered in yellow spots. He communicates by saying the word Blobby in an electronically altered voice and expresses mood through the tone of his voice. Mr. Blobby would partake in pranks involving celebrities, where he would act clumsy, childish to irritate them. Mr. Blobby was criticized for his behavior, at one point causing one little girl to cry after throwing her birthday cake onto the floor, which then caused the father to approach the stage and attack Blobby.
Wow. Interesting.
Mum and Shots.
Oh, come on!
Show. On episode 124, the Mum and Shots
Stop
made a guest
changing your
appearance
voice,
on the Muppet
dude!
Show.
It's
They're an
fucking
experimental
horrifying,
group
man.
of dancers formed in Switzerland, made up of performers whose techniques include acting, puppeteering, and other forms of artistry. They mainly perform in black leotards or other minimal attire, with creative masks while remaining completely silent. They also made an appearance on Sesame Street, where they performed several times. One involving 2 cardboard boxes to demonstrate the idea of being sane and different, and another involving freely stretching out each other's masks. These concepts must have been entertaining and even fascinating to adults, but for children, it must have confused and horrified them.
It's horrifying me now!
These
Especially because your
pale
voice keeps
white
changing!
faces with cold, permanent expressions are menacing, coupled with the fact that they are surrounded by beloved Muppets makes them even more disturbing.
Pika, give me comfort, buddy. Pika, give me comfort.
The Phone from Telechat.
Oh, that's horrible.
Telechat is a French television show designed to be a parody of news programs, but for kids. It stars puppets of anthropomorphic animals, who all act and look in very strange ways. Their movements are so sporadic that it gives off just an uncomfortable vibe, and they all look just as weird too. The cat in the suit frequently has a broken arm, and the ostrich wears lipstick and shows cleavage. But strangest of all is the Phone with a face. He whispers in the anchorman's ear when he picks him up, and almost sounds like he's gasping for air, before completely changing his tone. The show itself doesn't look that bad, and it does have some more frightening moments, like this microphone with an ear attached to it. It has a permanent looking smile stuck on it, and an extremely bothersome voice.
Kusha! Lola! Kusha!
More so.
Oh, come on! Stop with the voice
There's
thing!
not that much information about Morso online. All we do know is that he's a character from a Finnish children's show. Some of the only available footage online is what I assume to be a scene from the show, featuring a bear character stirring something, and this horrifying, nightmare-inducing, distorted clip of Morso himself. The frightening music only helps solidify Morso as a being of children's fears. And without it, he's still scary looking. Again, there's not much I could find about his character, or even what the show was about, which ironically only adds to the creepiness.
What the crap? Oh, let's make my brain
Carbuncle
hurt.
from Ik Mik Lorland.
Carbuncle.
This Netherlands show was an educational program that ran for 2 seasons in 1994. The series was intended to teach children how to read with a method called Learning to Read Safely. It featured a character named Carbuncle, who induced fear into every Dutch child who watched the show. In fact, the show was criticized heavily because of Carbuncle, who many parents thought was too scary for their children. Some even endured nightmares, according to a loosely translated article. After the first 20 episodes, Carbuncle was made more kid-friendly by transforming him almost entirely human. This was to inspire viewers to continue watching the series and expand on their education. And, despite the criticism, Ik Mik Lorland was a huge success. Though many Dutch children still recall the terror that was Carbuncle.
Oh my god.
Ananas from Telefrancis. Telefrancis was a French children's show that ran from 1984 to 1986. The show became a popular teaching tool in Canadian and American schools to teach their students French as a second language. However, the show featured a character named Ananas, a frightening, sporadic talking pineapple who often gets into adventures with our 2 main characters. She pretty much never blinks and is usually just looking around in a dazed stare when she's not speaking. She's almost nothing like her animated counterpart, who always appears in the show's opening title sequence. There's one episode where she sings and dances in the forest with the 2 other children, again looking extremely uncomfortable and creepy.
Not that scary, I mean. That was scary, but not that much.
Hartley Hare from Pipkins.
Oh!
There was a 70s
no!
kid show in Britain called Pipkins
Oh my
that ran
god!
from January 1973 to December 1981. The show starred a gang of animals such as a pig, a monkey named Topov, an ostrich named Octavia,
Okay.
and a hare named Hartley Hare. He was the most daunting thing about the show.
Oh, the
Hartley
voice
Hare
just
wasn't
tops it
particularly
off,
creepy.
though!
He ended up being downright unnerving for some children.
Ugh.
The show itself was devoid of any real humor or color, and instead focused on a depressing color scheme. In this video, Hartley talks to children about being naughty.
And today I'm going to talk to you about being naughty.
He then brings out a
Being
glove
naughty.
puppet and explains that
Whoever made
you
this show
can
is
do
naughty
all
as
sorts
well.
of things with a glove puppet.
God.
You know, you can be naughty
What
with a glove
the
puppet.
what the fuck is that?
Michael!
This is absolutely, oh my god.
Oh, dearie me, Michael. We have been getting into lots of trouble, haven't we?
Oh my god! Ah, it's
Pipkins was
creepy!
canceled when its producers, ATV, lost its franchise for the Midlands ITV region. Interestingly, due to
Oh, the
videotape
pig has
damage
button
and poor
eyes.
storage,
That reminds
many
me
of
of
the show's
Coraline, which is a
episodes are
fantastic movie.
completely lost. Out of 333 episodes, only 135
That's half a 666.
survived
It's
the
half a
test of
it's a
time.
half demon. I'm
The
sorry.
Giant Walrus from Pingu.
Alright, that seems like
In the
that.
episode titled Pingu's Dream,
Hey, it's the
Pingu
meme!
falls asleep and finds himself in a dream where his igloo flies away, and then his bed grows legs and moves around. As bizarre as most dreams go, this one seems fine, until a giant walrus begins to stalk
Oh my
Pingu.
god.
The walrus slowly murmurs inaudible noises before confronting Pingu.
Oh, don't tell me. Okay! Okay!
Traps Pingu in an igloo, and then laughs some more in an uncomfortably deep tone, and must have scared the children watching at home.
It scared me.
What's most odd is that he only appeared in this one episode. It was banned from distribution due to the walrus being frightening for many young viewers. It was also removed from British television in 2003 and was one of the few programs pulled from airing in the United States.
P. Salty, from P. Salty's Songs for Little Praisers. P. Salty is described by their website as a songbook, but not just any songbook. A songbook full of songs for children. P. Salty, in reality, is a grown man in a book costume. His face is painted blue, and it appears that he has some sort of clay prosthetic to make his cheeks more pronounced. He is often with and watching a group of kids with his trusty dog, Blooper. Blooper is another 30-something man who wears a downright creepy dog costume and is forced to act like a dog. Oftentimes, kids are petting him and treating him like an animal, which includes allowing them to lay in their laps and allowing them to pet his thighs and getting uncomfortably close to his groinal area. It really does scream stranger danger.
Pedophilia!
Really, that is for you to decide.
Did you not see the man twerking in front of the children? Do I have to censor that out or
Puppets from Peppermint Park. According to TV Tropes,
I don't think I have
this
to
80s
censor that out.
TV show can be described
This
as
is
straight
horrifying.
to DVD and straight from hell.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. The main cast of characters is a scary group of puppets that teaches children lessons like letters, numbers, colors, and so on. Take Ernie, for example, who likes to sing about the letter M.
It's me, Ernie. Today on Peppermint Park, we're introducing the letter M. It's such a great letter. It's marvelous, magnificent. I can't imagine life without the letter M.
The song is poorly written and sung by a voice that can make ears bleed. There's also Maynard, an old, saggy-looking puppet who sings about the color blue in this clip.
I'm so blue. I said I'm so blue. I used to be yellow. Now I'm laid back and mellow.
Not only is the show incredibly obscure, but it was a ripoff of Sesame Street. It had an opening title sequence with children and puppets that gave lessons, and even a character that bears a striking resemblance to the Cookie Monster. What really makes the show unnerving is the way they move and the designs themselves. It honestly looks as though there are actors that just had their heads removed and then replaced with a creepy doll.
Wisbit.
Oh, come on! Come on with the
This 80s show is
boys,
about
bruh.
an alien magician known as Wisbit, who solves puzzles and finds out as much as he can about the planet Earth. The show was mostly educational,
That thing
with the
is terrifying.
solutions to the puzzles being revealed towards the end of each episode. That's all fine and whatnot, but Wisbit's
What the
design is
fuck?
terrifying. It has a painfully high-pitched and disturbing childlike voice that's annoying, but evil-sounding all at the same time.
Oh, so it was like me.
Hey, Wisbit, have you seen what happened?
I certainly have, Wooly.
Did you just come from Puzzleopolis?
Yes, I did.
Circle Square. Is it the
Black, white, and gray.
key? And the puzzle gate, is it the
Black, white, and gray.
and squidgy? Not squidgy.
I'm afraid so. These are black, white, and gray bugs now.
He's also accompanied by this tall, creepy bunny, whose voice sounds muttered and
I swear I thought that was a mouse.
unintentionally coming off as a threat. Wisbit lives in a house that's completely void of color, with chilling music being played in the background. However, towards the end of one episode, the color palette does lighten up, but the bunny just dances for an uncomfortable amount of time while Wisbit just stands there, pondering.
I mean, the money's got moves. I'm not gonna lie. He had some moves, pretty good moves.
Ratafak Plachta from Slendeko. Definitely one of the more obscure characters on this list. This horrifying puppet is from a Czechoslovakian TV show. It's pretty hard to describe him, but according to a user on Reddit, his name translates to Nosy Blankets. Anyways, in this clip, he's frolicking around and singing an insanely creepy song. In the show, he seems to enjoy walking around and having fun with children. That's all I can take out of him. He just looks so damn creepy and moves in such a bizarre way.
I want my mama.
Nobody from Sesame Street. Count to 10 with Nobody was an odd and old sketch from the early years of Sesame Street. It featured a disembodied floating set of eyes and mouth called Nobody. As he counted down from 10,
oh my god, I'm actually crying. Oh my god,
background.
this is terrifying.
The scariest thing about Nobody is his eerie sounding voice. It was so unusually calm and ominous. He almost sounded like a psychopath waiting to murder someone. Nobody originated from an early Jim Henson short film about the human subconscious. Nobody would, just like in the Sesame Street, float around and speak in his isolated whispering voice and have flashbacks about his family. Sometimes he would stutter, and other times he would smack his lips or moan and talk about his evil thoughts.
That's a nice thought.
Oh, it's like hello, hi, stranger.
Of course, I've got some evil thoughts. You want to see my evil thoughts?
I don't want it.
It's part of my brain.
As soon as he would mention these evil thoughts, disturbing images would flash on screen for a brief few frames.
Number one? What's number one? It can't be creepier than that.
Jigsaw. This character is from an 80s British TV show. The program's comic relief.
What is that?
As the show went on, he became a fear. Episodes would often show Mr. Nosybunk acting out clues to the word of the week. After all, this was an educational children's show, and for a children's show, he was downright horrifying. His mask had these big, lifeless eyes that just kind of stared off into the distance. This wide and unchanging grin that displays a haunting smile, and an unusually large nose. In the show, he's always silent, and often had his nightmarish repetitive tune accompany him. Not much was really known about his character, and information was scarce until recently, when he was brought up online. Charlie Brooker, host of the BBC television series Screenwipe, describes him as a leering death mask figure who haunted his dreams and struck him as the kind who would sneak into a stranger's bedroom in the dead of night and knife you and knife you and knife you.
It's like Jeff the Killer's father! What the fuck? I don't want to do that again. I don't want to watch that again. I don't want to do this. No. Okay, well, that was the top 20 creepiest kids shows. A nice little chunk of childhood just got crushed, heat vision, turned into ash, put into a dumpster full of acid. Why did I do that to myself? Why did you guys watch me do that to myself? Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Well, this is something I'm never gonna do again. Yeah. I gotta edit this, so I gotta watch myself do this too. Alright, well, I guess thank you guys so much for watching this episode. If you liked it, lightly tap that like button in the face. Press that subscribe button. Share it with your friends. Hit that bell. And comment on what you want to see next. I'm going to go bleach my eye holes. And maybe not take a nap for the next 3 years. Yeah. Go enjoy this beautiful sunny day. Au revoir. Oh, yeah. I will see all you humans, animals, and machines in the next one. Au revoir.
Whew, everything's moving so fast, it feels like I'm standing still. Let's get it.